What's going on, guys? I told you we have a lot of stuff going down with the M3 right now. You guys saw my most recent video with the new exhaust. Full system's been put on. I'll link that video here if you haven't seen it. And today, I'm gonna give you a rundown. I'm not doing a full install on the suspension. I'm gonna give you guys a rundown on my review, what I think about it. I've had it for about a week, maybe 2 weeks now, and give you my thoughts on it so far. First things first, let me show you guys the box of parts. I always like keeping all the parts, as you guys know. Generally, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like when I got the G80 done for suspension, kept the springs and all that stuff, but it was basically new. So, but again, a 2008 E92 M3, and if you remember from my first video when I got the car, I already knew off the bat the suspension was blown. Front two struts were pretty much toast, completely leaking. There was a little bit of dampening, but it was kind of a bouncy ride, if you know what I mean. We're just riding on springs. But I wanted to keep these to show you guys just how toast these things were. I mean, pretty rough. And the other thing, if you remember from the first dose of maintenance I gave this sucker, the original drop links were completely rusted. So I put brand new ones on there. And of course, AST gives you new ones for their kits. So those have less than 1,000 miles on those, if not maybe 500 miles on those drop links, but I'll hang on to them. You never know if you need them. But anyways, wanted to show you guys that. And of course, you're not going to see this on the new kit because this is the original EDC, or electronic damper control. So with a coilover kit, you pretty much lose that on all the systems. So let me run over and show you guys what we're working with now. So this is the AST 5100 competition coilover set. True coilover, so the spring is actually sitting over the strut. And these things are incredible. I mean, AST, I run that on the G80. They've got amazing products. I've always liked their stuff. And the competitions actually come with the drop links, which I just mentioned, and I showed you guys in the B-roll. They also come with camber plates, so you can actually, the top mounts are adjustable, so you can adjust the camber, which is really nice. I don't think the non-competition 5100s come with these. So if you're gonna roll with this set, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the competitions actually give you the adjustable camber plates, which is awesome because it gives you that much more adjustability for, you know, street driving, or if you're gonna take it to the track, you can adjust camber to give it the stance that you want. So something to note there. So the 5100 competitions are one-way adjustable, so you do get the damper rebound adjustments for the car, which is awesome. So it gives you that adjustability. Again, so if you want to do street driving, aggressive street driving, track use, whatever your goal is, you can really get your setup dialed in with this kit. So I'm excited to mess around with it and get everything dialed in just where I want it. So overall, super happy with these guys. They look good. They fit. I mean, listen, I'm coming from blown shocks on this car, so anything's better. But if you guys don't know, AST Moton put out some pretty impressive products. So really happy with these guys. Let's go for a ride. You know, I'll tip the wheel off to show you guys, so I can get up in there and actually give you guys a look of what we're working with there. But yeah, let's put the wheel back on, go for a drive, and I'll give you my thoughts on how it actually performs. So a little bit of a scrape, barely if any, leaving the driveway, but wouldn't be a lowered car without that happening, right? But if you watch my video installing the Adjo front lip, you guys know that I have the slip low on there, so no concern with any kind of issues happening with that as well. So we're protected in that regard. So right off the bat, obviously the car's lowered. You know, I've got it routed in medium setting. I just got the, you know, full suspension installed. The guys over at PSI here in Central Florida did that for me. They got taken care of. Again, I always appreciate those guys taking care of me when there's a job that I can't do or I'm not able to get to for whatever reasons happening in life or work. So they were able to get this full system put on for me. So again, this is the AST 5100 competition coilovers, one-way adjustable, and I think it's the perfect setup for this car. One thing that's really cool that when I was talking to Sean at PSI, he was kind of letting me know that this setup is actually rebuildable. So, you know, down the road, if whatever reason it wears out, over time in use, you can have these rebuilt so they're new again, or you can upgrade them to a two-way, and I think even a three-way setup, which is really cool that they're able to do that. So you don't have to go out and buy a whole new setup again. You can just upgrade and kind of rebuild the setup you already have. I thought that was really cool. So that's one thing that, you know, could be an option down the road if I end up wanting to track this car more, et cetera, et cetera. So right off the bat, I was excited to hear that. So this kit has like 13, 14 levels of adjustment, somewhere in that range. I don't know the exact number, but whoa. Got a feast happening up here. Easy, guys. Jesus. Those guys don't move for nothing. Yeah, 13, 14 levels of adjustment, somewhere in there. And right now it's on the middle setting. So call it 7 or 8, whatever, is where it's at. So not all the way soft, but not all the way, you know, stiff in terms of dampening. You know, it's been a couple weeks riding around, see how it feels. You know, I've taken it on some back roads, kind of driven it hard a little bit, trying to break it in. The springs for these, when they're peened, they don't have any kind of I'm not sure what the word is, break-in period or settling time, I guess. They kind of do that at the factory when they're built, which is pretty cool. The dampers settle in a little bit, so I think after a couple of days of driving, give or take, the dampers have settled in, so no issues with that. And then as far as height goes, again, just close the gap, so there's no gap in the car, right in the middle. I like the cars to sit lower to kind of gain that little bit of performance of lowering the center of gravity, but I don't want to slam my cars. I'm not going for maximum stance. That's not really my MO. You know, everyone's got their own style. That's just not mine. So, you know, kind of right in that middle ground of where I like my cars to sit. So stance and look wise, perfect for me. And, you know, I'm going to go with another tire and wheel setup soon. That'll be coming down the road, hopefully in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for that as far as what tire and wheel setup I'm going to go with. But overall, guys, I mean, this suspension, I mean, the car's planted. I mean, it's what you would expect from a coilover, right? The car's planted. It responds beautifully. I mean, turning into corners, it's agile. It's much more responsive. I mean, I'm just using 2 fingers on each hand here. And I mean, obviously, this is a low speed corner, obviously. I'm not doing any kind of aggressive driving, but just feeling the car, feeling the ground, kind of feeling the suspension move of how it's set up right now. It's just good. Like, it just feels right. The way they have this tuned and set up, it just makes the car feel like, I know it's cliche, but how it should have come from the factory. And you know what? For these cars, they have EDC from the factory. Mine had it, obviously here. So this button, now the button is just, oh, Jesus, my button almost came off. It's just inactive, so it doesn't do anything, as you can see. So the button does nothing. But it comes with EDC from the factory, and on the stiffer setting, this is kind of how this car feels. But a little more dialed, because even the OEM dampers, even on an M3, are still going to be a little more forgiving. Hey, there's a turkey. They're going to be a little more forgiving because BMW has to sell cars to everyone. Even though it's an M3, it's a performance car, you can't put it to maximum level. I mean, that's what their CS and CSL models are, to have that more aggressive option. But that's why the cars are always lifted up a little bit. They're not, you know, optimal stance. They're not lowered at all. So the dampers, they'll stiffen up a little bit with EDC adjustment, but it's still going to be softer than what a coilover setup would be. But again, like, it may be hard for you guys to tell, but I'm not bouncing all around. You know, I'm on the road through the neighborhood, which is a decent road with some corners and 30, 40 miles an hour. So it's a good example for this video. But yeah, I mean, I'm not bouncing all around. I mean, there's bumps in the road, as you can see, and it just feels comfortable. It feels normal. But on high-speed corners, which we're not going to do in this video, I'll do it in the next video. But the car handles well. It's planted, and you know, it handles really, really well. And it really kind of counteracts the fact that I've got the older Michelin Pilot Sport tires on here. The tires are fine, but bro, come on, look at this guy. Gonna wait to the last second. The tires are still okay. They're not dry rotted or anything, but they're the tires I got when I got the car, and they're fine for now, but I'm gonna get a new wheel and tire set up, so just kind of holding off on that. You know, tread's fine, but if you don't know, tires do have an expiration date, so these are getting close to that. But you know, I live in hot, sunny Florida, dry conditions now, so they handle perfect for what that is. But you know, I'm not going to push the car with the new suspension until I get a new setup there. But this car will be seeing track use, not currently at this moment, but coming up soon it will. You know, I drive this car, not a daily driver, but it does drive around town. I go to events, I do rallies, fun stuff like that. I do spirited driving, but it's not a daily driver and that sort of thing. So is it comfortable for me? Yeah, 100%. I can drive this car. I'm not getting bounced around. My teeth aren't jarred out because the coilovers are so tight and aggressive, which some of them are. If you've experienced that, then you know what I'm talking about. So this is not that. It's a good mid-level option with the ability to, again, rebuild when needed down the road and or upgrade to a two-way or three-way AST Moton setup, which would be awesome if you wanted to add that adjustability or more adjustability on the track, if you wanted to make it more of a dedicated track car. So this is a good entry-level option to get into that world if you're looking to have a coilover setup. You don't want to break the bank, but you don't want to go something that's, you know, cheaper either. And you know, my thing's always just save the money until you buy what you want. Getting something in the meantime or settling, it just never works out, man. Like, it's just not the way to do it, I don't think, especially if you have a car like this, any kind of an M car or a performance car, that, especially one that you care about. Just save something for what you want. I'm not saying AST or Moton is the only option out there that are quality, but they're definitely one of the top, 100%. But even with the original suspension, like me doing this corner right now, I mean, the car just doesn't know when to settle. And I'm not saying my blown suspension, but how these cars handle with good suspension from factory. But this car just handles better, man, with the suspension. It just feels good. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It just feels right. Really, really happy with this setup. And I think it's a good platform for this build, particularly in my case, and what's coming soon. So I'm going to update you guys more if I take this on a spirited drive, a back road. I'll do some more content for you guys so you can kind of see, hear, and feel how the suspension's working. If I notice anything different, I'll update you guys as well. But try to get some different shots and angles on some upcoming drives and rallies I have planned. So I know some of you guys want to see the car driving more than just through a neighborhood, which I totally get. But the purpose of this video is to just review simply some in-car POV of my thoughts and impressions, you know, just about a week and a half after getting the suspension. And, you know, was it worth it? Do I regret it? And would I get it again, type thing? And 100%, I do not regret it. You know, I kind of knew going in this was going to be a top-notch option, and totally happy, totally satisfied with it. So again, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for what's coming up next. We do have another really big mod going down on this video. I hinted at it recently, but if you're not sure, let's just say this car is going to stop a lot quicker coming up soon. So thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it, and keep driving your legacy. Catch you soon.